What were your expectations of how your relationship with your partner would be during and after your pregnancy? Maybe you had that romantic vision of being all loved up with your gorgeous newborn, and your relationship was going to an even higher level of love and beauty and wonderfulness. We all get into that romantic feeling and loving it. That's sort of where we hope and want to be when we become a family. And well, there's a reason why those yummy chick flick movies, they stop after the couple have found each other after their huge struggle. They're now happily together, happily ever after, the end. Well, they don't really go into detail how it turns out after that. And that's probably because they never went as far as writing the scene, obviously, that part of the storyline, but also because it would most likely completely destroy that loved up image of the couple. Now, that couple, fictitious or not, they will have their ups and downs too. They'll be in love passionately one moment, and the next they will most likely, be having an argument or, a very unsexy, stressed moment or a bad mood or taking a very unsexy dump on the loo, because that is just reality. So the question is, why do we not consider these unsexy things when we're planning a family? Why do we forget that we can't be in love 24/7 and there will be hard times? And then when these hard times happen, why do they seem so horrible? When we're sitting there with our wee bundle of joy and your partner is just completely annoying the living daylight out of you because, he or she has just been giving you or your baby or not giving you and your baby the attention that you were expecting, or maybe they don't seem as interested in the baby as you would have hoped they would have been. Or maybe they're not as interested in you, or they don't take into consideration that you are absolutely exhausted after all these night feeds, and they're not even offering to take over some of the daytime chores or the nighttime feedings. And it's leaving you absolutely confused and feeling negative emotions, and you weren't expecting them. Why? Take a few steps back and look back to where you started. What were your expectations? Were your expectations to be 24/7 loved up and absolute bliss? How realistic were these expectations? And did you ever consider them to be maybe a little bit too optimistic? Is it even possible to feel high on love 24/7? Wouldn't that be unhealthy? And are you trying to force your own thoughts into that 24/7 happiness? And for trying to do that, are you now trying to create an unrealistic reality? Are you now setting yourself up for disappointment and hurt? Could you maybe have stopped this by taking a step back and looking at the situation with a more realistic point of view? Our thoughts, they can be so powerful. And they become especially powerful when we charge these thoughts with emotions and feelings. And then when our expectations that we ourselves created with these thoughts, when they're not met, then we'll feel other emotions. We'll feel hurt, most likely. We'll feel disappointment. We'll feel let down. And then we stick with these feelings. We go with them and we feed off of them. And we do it some more and some more, and some more emotions will come out. And before you know it, we've created this huge snowball of negative emotions. And we've been rolling that snowball through more layers of snow and more layers of unhappy emotions and thoughts to make it bigger and bigger. That's that classical snowball effect. And now it's starting to affect our sleep at a time that you're probably already exhausted because you're taking care of a wee baby. That snowball is rolling through snowy layers of resentment and exhaustion. And now we're doubting if we should still be with this horrible partner who doesn't see that stress and anxiety that he or she is causing us. And that snowball is getting bigger and rolling through more snowy layers of anxiety and self-doubt. And now that you find yourself considering if you have a postpartum anxiety disorder maybe, or a postpartum depression, So where did all of that start? Who knows? Maybe if you had had more realistic expectations to begin with, would that snowball effect have become so huge? Would that snowball of emotions have become so big if you had started off with lower expectations of what was about to happen? Now, the simple fact is that being on a happy high 24/7, that is not reality. Again, as I've said before, that's probably even unhealthy. Sometimes taking a step back, or taking a step back every now and again and sort of checking in on your thoughts and maybe amending these thoughts to match your current reality, that may just be a good idea, just to make sure that you don't fall over when these expectations aren't met. It stops that snowball from rolling and rolling and rolling. And hopefully it creates more realistic expectations and less feelings of hurt. I hope that helps. Take care.